first glance, the Dominican Republic is just a small island who, with its neighbor Haiti, floats in the Caribbean and is a favorite of tourists for its abundance of white sandy beaches, crystal clear water, and exotic animals. Second look, one will find the poverty that runs rampant throughout the country. According to the World Bank, the Dominican Republic's GDP per capita is $5,879. That is in stark contrast to the USA's GDP per capita of $53,042. The one resource that the country is not short on is baseball. Baseball may have been born in the United States, but it has spent plenty of time on vacation in the Dominican Republic. Time magazine reports that baseball has been played in the Dominican Republic since the late 19th century. It is the lifeblood of the country. Dominican children grow up playing the sport from a very young age. They play any time they can and with any equipment that they can find. There is also great passion for teams native to the Dominican, as well as the national team that plays in the World Baseball Classic. Most Dominican children dream of growing up to play in the major leagues, like Albert Pujols.
That ball hammered and we have a tie game. First career big league home run. And after watching this kid in batting practice and that swing right there, it will not be nearly the last.
And Manny Ramirez.
Right center field, way back, goodbye, welcome to the 500 Club, Manny Ramirez.
And Pedro Martinez.
There you go. He did, that's strike three, and that's number 300. 300 career, I should say, season strikeouts for Pedro Martinez.
However, the great Dominican stars that have flourished in the major leagues over the last 20 years are exceptions to the rule. All 30 major league clubs have academies in the Dominican Republic, and they all bring in boatloads of Dominican teens with hopes that they can find the next David Ortiz, Vladimir Guerrero, or Jose Reyes. However, most of these players, if they make it to the United States at all, toil in the minor leagues and never become stars. According to Time magazine, just 2% of Dominican players who have signed with the team have made it to the majors. Most of the academies in the Dominican Republic are not exactly up to standards. There are many stories of the terrible living conditions for Dominican prospects as well as the subpar medical care they receive. A large number of Dominican prospects reportedly live in what are essentially cinder block dorms. Then there is the story of the late Yuri Guillen, a former 19-year-old prospect for the Washington Nationals who failed to receive proper medical care from the Nationals Academy medical staff and died from bacterial meningitis. MotherJones.com found that 21 of 30 teams with academies in the Dominican Republic do not have certified trainers. Dominican teens also do not have to complete high school to sign with a major league club, unlike in the United States. ESPN reports that teams can sign roughly 10 Dominican-born players for the same price as one draft-eligible player in the United States. These Dominican teens that are not superstars can get paid next to nothing in comparison to an average United States player. The future stars are often scooped up by bruscones, who exploit the players into signing a contract early and then taking a cut, which is usually a percentage of the player's signing bonus. Many of these players are forced to create a false age, and sometimes even a new identity. This was indeed the case in the stories of both Juan Carlos Oviedo, formerly known as Leo Nunez, and Roberto Hernandez, formerly known as Fausto Carmona. Players from the Dominican are also among the leading demographic tied to performance-enhancing drug use. Both a lack of education on the matter and outside pressure factor into this statistic. There were 83 Dominican players on MLB rosters to start 2014. That seems like a large number, right? But with that large number, the amount of failures becomes even more staggering. The impact of the Dominican Republic on baseball in America cannot be understated. Since Ozzie Virgil became the first Dominican MLBer in 1956, Dominicans have authored some of the most historic moments in recent memory. Juan Marichal was the first real Dominican star in the majors, and was also the first to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. After Marichal, Dominican stars were few and far between. Joaquin Andujar, Tony Pena, Julian Javier, and George Bell, as seen here hitting a walk-off home run, are a few notable players that found success in the majors. But an explosion was on the horizon. Some superstars of the 90s and early 2000s explosion included Vladimir Guerrero, a career .318 hitter with 449 home runs. In his heyday, Vlad was known for his remarkable arm that collected 126 assists and his ability to hit bad pitches. A recent clip showed that he could have even hit 50 Cent's disastrous first pitch attempt at the Mets game in 2014. Sammy Sosa, who owns 609 round-trippers and is widely credited, along with Mark McGwire, for bringing fans back to baseball after the labor strike of 1994. David Ortiz, a 3-time World Series champ and 9-time All-Star, who's regarded as one of the most clutch players in history, as well as having all but transformed the role of designated hitter.
The grand slam! Hit 14 home runs and 36 RBIs, and look at this, an extra base hit.
Manny Ramirez, whose first major league hit was a good precursor for the rest of his career. Manny was known for both his, call it, uniqueness on the field and power bat. Manny was a .312 lifetime hitter who clobbered 555 homers in his big league career.
That Manny cuts off, and then Manny throws the bell horn.
And then he's look out! Oh man, for the second day in a row, this one goes into the upper deck. Manny Ramirez
Gets decked, and here they go. Pedro throws
Hall of Famer and 3-time Cy Young Award winner Pedro Martinez, who had a reputation as an intense player on the field. Here he is striking out 5 players in the 1999 All-Star Game. Pedro was also known as a lovable jokester off the field as well.
Hold on here. The Phantom here of Fenway.
as well. Little grin there for Martinez, who is not leaving the diamond yet. But Piazza says, let's get out of here.
Albert Pujols, the 2001 National League Rookie of the Year and 3-time Most Valuable Player. The Machine, as he is nicknamed, is a 2-time World Series champion and has a remarkable 162-game average of 40 home runs over his career.
The Machine. What are you talking about?
That's what they call you, right? Machine?
I'm not a machine. Not a machine. The Machine, right? Guys. I'm not a machine, okay? I'm just Albert. Whatever. All right, not a machine.
Why didn't you eliminate them, Albert?
Shut up.
There he goes.
And Alfonso Soriano, who was only the 4th person in baseball history to steal 40 bases and hit 40 home runs in a single season, joining Alex Rodriguez, Barry Bonds, and Jose Canseco.
Alfonso Soriano wins the game with a 2-run home run over the right center field wall.
Dominicans have also authored historic in-game achievements over the past 20 years, like Jose and Ubaldo Jimenez's no-hitters.
Here's the 1-2. Ground ball to second. Barmes to first. Ubaldo Jimenez has no-hit the Atlanta Braves.
As well as Fernando Tatis's historic night against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
2 grand slams by the same player in the same inning.
The immense success of Dominican stars during the late 90s and early 2000s overshadows the harsh reality that most of their countrymen still face. These exceptions to the rule were living out their dreams, while an enormous amount of their friends from the island were forced to toil in the minors for very little pay. The Dominican stars of today, like Jose Bautista, Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz, Hanley Ramirez, and Carlos Gomez, are more exceptions to the reality that still exists in the Dominican Republic.
Gomez leaps and he makes the catch! A game saver!
Their success stories inspire Dominican children to chase their baseball dreams. Youngsters like Carlos Martinez, Giordano Ventura, and Gregory Polanco have seemingly captured that dream as well. The hope for the future is that MLB's system for developing Dominican talent will become more regulated and organized. Dominican talent is not going away anytime soon. With a better system, the exceptions could become the rule.